Welcome back to Nerds R Us, where anyone can be a kid. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Ike Siemens.
What up?
And Tyler number 2, Tyler Hustler.
Hey, what up, guys?
And I'm Tyler number 1, and today we're talking about sitcoms. Just a bunch of friends hanging out, usually in some type of living room and or bar, maybe office setting. Who knows, we'll see. You guys got a favorite sitcom?
Fuck, I would say probably... God damn, not... I don't know.
Barney does not count.
I'd say Friends.
Friends?
Yeah,
I mean, it did last 10 seasons. It obviously was good.
I love that.
That was like
show.
the 90s sitcom. Yeah, it doesn't have a single bad season in it.
Yeah.
And who's your favorite character in Friends, though? Mine is Chandler.
I would say Joey.
Joey?
Fucking idiot.
Because he's so fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like the first, like, dumb guy character I remember seeing on TV.
Yeah.
I know, mine's Chandler, just because he's just so fucking sarcastic.
Yeah. Yeah, he just gets some fucking fire.
He just gets some super good singers in.
Yeah.
There's even an episode where he's like, oh, you're coming to me for advice? No, you want to go to someone else. If you're looking for a sarcastic comment, I'll be right here. Yeah, so you a big Friends fan?
Yeah, I watched it. I was watching it this morning, actually. I'd probably say Joey's my favorite.
Joey's
just
your
a big
favorite,
dumb
too?
dude. Yeah.
I like the episode where Chandler like falls asleep at Joey's movie, and he's like, no, like, you fell asleep at my movie, so I'm just gonna pay you back all the money I owe you, and then we'll just call it good. And he's like, okay, and they total it up, and it's like a fuck ton of money, and he's like, so you fell asleep in my movie, it's not a big deal, let's just move on. How do you erase this calculator? What about the love situation in Friends, though? Was that shit? Like, as a kid, I thought it was stupid, but now I kind of look at it and I'm like, oh, they told that story really well. Like, the Ross-Rachel situation, or like the budding relationship of Chandler and Monica. Do you think it's told well?
I think it was excellent. That's why I like that show so much, is because watching that, like you were saying, as a kid, it didn't hold
register.
relevance. Yeah, it wasn't important to me to watch that part. I was just like, oh, I don't care. You know, they're fucking or they're not. And then, yeah, as I got older, I was like, oh, I can see how that could happen. So that's probably why it was one of my favorites.
Let me ask you a question. As you got older and you started dating, did you find yourself agreeing with Rachel or Ross on the we were on a break situation? Where he sleeps with the chick while they're on a break for a day, and she thinks he cheated, but then he's all like, we were on a break!
Realistically, if you're on a break, dating.
You're on a break, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so by technicality, that's clear. Now, the thing is who chose to go on break.
She called the break, though.
And that's what I'm saying.
She called the break, so
that's where it's kind of a gray area, because like her in that situation, her calling the break, oh, I need a break, blah blah blah. That's game over in a dude's mind. You're like, oh well, I mean, I guess it's done, so whatever. And then something like that pops up and just falls into your lap. That
fell into his lap.
That well worked out in that situation.
Fell literally right into his lap, right into his bed.
but yeah, with that, you know, her fault, in my opinion. Break, if you're in a relationship, you fix the fucking problem and you move on. You don't go on break, because going on break means you're separated. Separated means we're not together, there's no rules, there's no engagement.
What about you, Tias? Were they on a break? Was he in the clear?
He was in the clear.
Should he get up on a technicality?
No technicalities. She called the break. I mean,
I feel like any women that listen to this episode are going to have the exact opposite opinion. And this may just be a super generalization, but they're going to be, the break was fucking only in effect for like 2.5 hours. Like, fuck that guy. That's a tricky situation. But they played it out super well. and then kept that joke going through the whole 10 seasons of the series, which is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because like I've been in situations that are similar to that. I've been there, I've done that, and it's like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about that situation either, but if you were the dumbass that called it, your fault, you know what I mean?
Alright, so let's move away from Friends for a second. What's a good sitcom, in your opinion, that's come out kind of more in like the 2000s area, kind of more recently, like in the last 10 years, that you were like, I can't not miss or cannot not watch this sitcom?
God, me personally, I really haven't watched too many sitcoms recently. I feel like there's a lot more channels now, so there's a lot more sitcoms. But what's one that you've at least seen like an episode of where you're like, funny? New Girl.
New Girl?
Yeah, like we were just watching that, and I fucking love that. Every time that's on, I get super sucked into it. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I kind of wish the show was just about the guys living in the loft, and what's her face was not in the show, and there's just like 3 guys living in a loft. Cause like she's like my least favorite character in the show.
Yeah, but she's hot.
Zoe Deschanel? Yeah.
It definitely gives something to look at when you're not, laughing at the dudes.
Who's your favorite character in your New Girl?
Schmidt. Schmidt all day.
Jar. Put it in the jar.
Yeah, I'd say probably Schmidt too. Just 'cause
he's super funny, but I don't know. I like Nick a ton. Nick's probably my favorite character.
Nick's hilarious too. They're all pretty fucking funny. Winston's probably my least favorite.
Probably. I like Coach, actually.
Coach was good.
Coach is one of my all-time favorites. He's in like my top 2 for sure, and it bums me out that he's only in like 2 seasons of the show, and they like wrote him off. Because it's like, no, Coach is like the best.
It's fucking hilarious.
Although anybody related to the Wayans, like brothers, is going to be great in any type of comedy. I mean, he's even good at Let's Be Cops.
Yeah.
What was that show with Taco in it?
Oh,
The League.
The League, yeah.
I forgot about that show.
I just thought about that.
Yeah, that one's super good too.
Because you were like, what was the show in the last like 10 years or so? And I was like, dude, I ran across that and I fucking loved that show.
He did so good.
I loved that show.
Yeah, Taco. Yeah, that guy's super good. All his YouTube videos are super good. He has a bunch of songs and shit. He's great.
I've been listening to him since I was like fucking 8.
Yeah. Those old school YouTubers that kind of came out back in the day. That's the big thing that's happening nowadays, I've noticed, is a lot of YouTubers are like popping up in sitcoms.
Yeah.
They're getting their own shows.
Seems like it. I mean, Chris D'Elia, like we were talking about earlier, Chris D'Elia was in that show.
Undateable.
Yeah.
I know that was such a good show for only lasting 2 seasons.
Well, it's got Chris D'Elia in it, and that fucker is hilarious.
Dude, he's so good.
If you haven't watched his specials,
well, he had
Netflix,
another sitcom before that called Whitney with another comedian called Whitney Cummings. Yeah, you know. And like he played her husband, like they were husband and wife, and it was a sitcom about them. And it was super good, and it ended up like battling for a time slot with New Girl, and it got beat out by New Girl, and they took it off the air.
Damn.
Yeah. Happens. What about? Do you consider shows like Parks and Rec and The Office a sitcom?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're situational comedies, but the way they're shot with like the on-face interviews and stuff, and like the different camera angles, because usually the camera angles of like a sitcom generally are kind of just one to maybe 3 camera angles, but mostly one angle in one room at a time. Or they do the split screen.
Yeah, I mean, I would still say sitcom.
If you had to choose to watch Parks and Rec or The Office, which one would you choose?
I'd go with Parks and Rec.
I'd go with Parks and Rec too.
Office was alright, but not Parks and Rec quality.
Yeah, I was the consistency of Parks.
Consistently good.
Yeah, it's just funnier, more consistently. The The Office was really good, and it had a lot of funny shit, but there were some episodes that I remember seeing that I was like, I don't fucking care.
It's so, like, it's almost too dry. It's just their comedy is so, like, I just said this thing, looking at the camera, like, really dry.
And that's the thing is, like, that's where a lot more of the entertainment value came from, when, like, they'd be sitting there looking at the camera and they'd say something, and then some shit would be happening in the background, and so it'd kind of make it even funnier.
But that's what made it hard for me. It was just it was too, like, it was just too dry.
Yeah.
It just didn't make it as good for me. Which, like, you can make the same argument with Parks and Rec because it's shot by the same people and done the same exact way, but like more livelier, like more situational than, like,
it just had more comedic value for me. Yeah.
Well, I think what makes a good sitcom is good characters.
Yeah.
One, you have to have good character development, and the actors or actresses, they have to work well together. And
I don't think they did really a build-up for characters in The Office, and that's kind of where...
They did between, like, Pam and Jim. That was, like,
That's it, though.
The equivalent of Ross and Rachel, yeah. I mean,
but
Steve Carell's character was pretty much the same the whole series.
Yeah, but, like, during Parks and Rec, you had a little bit more character development, I felt like, and I think that's where...
I mean, just look at Ron Swanson's character development at the beginning of the show. He was super anti-people and stuff. By the end of the show, he had, like, 3 kids and a wife, and then fucking acts at a freaking sick concert.
True.
What is this sax player name?
Duke Silver.
Duke Silver.
God damn it.
He's like, ladies, I'm about to get all up inside you with my music tonight. Because I'm Duke Silver.
Fuck.
But that, like, reaffirmed my love for the saxophone. Ron Swanson's such a badass dude.
He is. What was,
Chris Fast character?
No. I was just thinking of another one. I swear to God, I've seen another one.
Are you, when it comes to sitcoms, because one sitcom is kind of like held as like the golden sitcom is Seinfeld. Are you a big Seinfeld guy?
I grew up watching that shit. I mean, I fucking love it.
Well, obviously, like, probably like reruns because they ended in like...
That was what's on, like, basic TV channels.
Yeah, basic
like,
TV channels so you don't have cable and it's like 2 when you get home from school.
Yeah, I was a broke-ass kid, and we didn't have much money, so we
Seinfeld
just watched whatever was on.
Is so... That one's also kind of hit and miss for me. Like, it's not in every episode is golden for me.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It was like the OG, though, and so you gotta give respect where respect's due, and that's kind of like the thing where they had enough good episodes and good consistency and character development that it made it available for more people to run that.
Yeah, you're like the only one here like old enough to remember when Seinfeld actually started, or have been alive when it actually started.
True. I never watched it till like a couple years ago, to be honest.
Do you remember? Did it?
No.
It like swept the nation.
I don't think. I mean, I don't remember. They could have seen it, but I don't think they watched it.
Have you watched it all the way through?
Yeah.
Do you think it's as good as everybody says it is?
No.
Is it the golden sitcom?
It's alright. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it was pretty funny at times and caught my interest.
It has its moments. If you could pick it like a moment from Seinfeld that kind of sums up the whole show in that.
I have one word to sum up the whole show: Kramer.
Kramer, true story. Yeah.
Fuck.
And whatever happened to him.
It was cold. I was in the pool.
I was in the pool. Yeah.
No.
Whatever happened to the guy who played Kramer? Oh, that's right. He like got up on a comedy stage. And
and he bombed it.
Called him like the N-word like a whole bunch of times. Like, not just once, like 20 to 30 times.
What?
Yeah, you never heard about that?
No.
They were like heckling him or whatever, and he was like, oh, just a bunch of N-words in the crowd. Nothing but N-words just everywhere. Freaking N-words coming here, ruining everybody's day, ruining this life and all this shit. Yeah, he like went off. And that was the last anybody ever heard from him. Although I'm sure he's still doing fine, fucking banking on that Seinfeld money.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
no kidding.
God damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy as hell.
You also never hear really from Jerry Seinfeld anymore.
Yeah, he does Coffee and Cars.
Oh, that's true. That show's pretty good. Yeah, that show's
But
good.
he's doing really well.
All the cars are although if you have that successful of a sitcom, like, and you really just want to do stand-up, I'm sure, like, it's not like he ever has to work again in his life. And so it's like, I'll just fucking do stand-up, which I originally wanted to do in the first place. Like, if he chooses to be in a movie, he has, like, enough money to just be like, oh, you know, I only want to be in shit I want to be in. Even if that's, like,
I mean, who wants to be in the B movie, though?
Dude, I fucking love B-movie. That movie's good as shit.
But they come to you with that pitch, you're like, but you've seen what I've done, right? Yeah, but we want you to be a B. Just a little worker bee. Nothing much.
But you get to fuck this chick. That's cool.
There was some weird animal, human sexual vibes going on in that movie.
He slid up in those DMs. There's no denying. He buzzed his way up in and around and just had a heyday.
True.
Getting that
Pollinated
honey.
that flower.
He definitely gotten that honey.
Ooh, dude, another sitcom that just popped in my mind, which I don't know how it fucking slipped, because it's definitely like in my top 3, is How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, yeah.
That one's like solid 10 out of 10.
That was fucking awesome.
It's such
Except
a,
for the ending. Just
You know
kind of
what,
like
dude,
dropped off at the end there.
spoiler alert, 5 years after it ended. I like the ending. I like the fact that the mom died and that Barney and Robin ended up getting a divorce and shit. And the reason I liked it is because it didn't have your typical sitcom ending. It wasn't a Friends ending where she gets off the plane and they get. It wasn't, you know, the end of Parks and Rec where they all end up on Congress or end up like, you know, married with kids and stuff like that. It was like, even if things go your way for a little bit, at the end of the day, like, shit's still gonna fall apart and like there's still gonna be bad stuff that happens. Like, you will meet the mother of your children and you'll love her, but she will die. That's gonna happen. And it was like at the end of the day, you still have like all your friends and stuff, and like you can still have good times, but also bad shit happens. No matter how good shit goes, there's always the fucking yin yang. And I was like, oh, that's like a surprisingly like deep ending for a show about playbooks and Sasquatch and banging your way to your mother.
True, yeah, that was ending. It was, that's kind of what I hoped for with Lost, with the show Lost. Yeah, it was kind of like...
Yeah, that was a disappointment.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, like, it was an amazing show, and then it came to that end, and I was just like, fuck, that sucks, but I found out why. I mean, the writer was getting pressured by the people paying his way, like paying for the show. He was getting pressured to make it come to an end because they're like, oh, you know, we're losing interest in the show and this, that, and the other thing, and we're going to have to close it down, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I still have a whole nother season that I could easily bust out and finish tying in, blah, blah, blah. And we'll keep the entertainment, or keep the interest in it. And they're like, no, we got to bring it to an end, and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, oh. 4 episodes, he just busted out and was like, here, this is a big fuck you. And so he gave us that shit ending just because he wanted to throw it in their face. And I was like, still mad respect.
Okay, if you could pick a sitcom that's been canceled or at least ended, like had a finale season, all that stuff, to bring back on a weekly basis, what would that sitcom be?
God, I don't know.
Because you gotta think, because if you do that, you're kind of taking away whatever the ending was from that sitcom, whether it was good or bad, or whether you liked it or didn't like it. But also at the same time, you run the risk of like having it be renewed and then being not as good as it was. Which happens all the time. So if you had to choose right now, cancel, done sitcom to bring back for one season only, what do you think it would be? What would you pick?
I'd pick that 70s show.
That's true. That was like the worst last season to any fucking sitcom ever.
Yeah.
They're like, how about we lose the main character, introduce some fucktard. Oh, and Jackie and Fez are together now.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, at least pit her with fucking Kelso or Hyde.
Yeah, that was fucked. That was hella fucked.
So you bring that back for the renewal? That's your bring back?
Yeah. See, that played out better.
Yeah, I would second that.
Original cast or?
Definitely original cast.
Have to be. It would have to be.
Well, I mean, yeah. You can't.
I was gonna say Friends originally, just because Rachel's hot as fuck.
Just because you'd like to see it. Just because like they've been talking about bringing back like Friends for like a Friends movie or something for like
Ever.
20 years now. Because what Friends ended like 2002, 2003,
yeah.
something like that.
Towards the end.
It definitely went to the 2000s, like way early 2000s. So it's been like 15, 16, 17 years since Friends has been on.
Yeah.
And it all ended on like they closed every chapter of the book when they ended it. But it still would be interesting to see like another season, like where are they, 20 years later?
Yeah.
Are they still friends?
Is the premise of the show still relevant?
Friends? Well, I mean, sitcom is pretty much just like a bunch of people who have like something in common hanging out, if you think about it.
Our lives.
Yeah, right? True story. That's why sitcoms are so popular, because everybody's like, oh, I can relate to that.
True.
Me and my friends love drinking coffee.
How about this one? If you had a current one that you could cancel and just end its life, what would it be?
God.
Big Bang Theory. Fuck that show.
You know what, dude? I love Big Bang Theory.
I'm not a fan.
It's at its point where it probably does need to come to an end, but I do like that show.
It was good starting off.
I would give it like the first like 5-6 seasons for sure.
I'd say that or 2.5 Men. After they took Charlie Sheen out, it just kind of wasn't
That's
as good.
still on?
I think so.
Oh my god. Are they still Ashton Kutcher?
Probably.
Yeah, well, I know they took Charlie Sheen off, and that's when I stopped watching, so... As far as I'm concerned, that is the end.
A rule of Hollywood is don't mess or say anything derogatory about Jewish people. That's like a rule of thumb, because anytime somebody does something like that, you never hear from him again. Mel Gibson did it. When was the last time you heard from him? What was the last big movie he did? Megan Fox. She was huge after Transformers. Huge. She was everywhere. She was like the sex icon. Called her boss the K word. When's the last time you heard from her?
New Girl.
She was on a season of New Girl.
That was about it.
And even then, I guarantee she got paid like shit. Because they were like, you have no fucking option. We can fuck you in the ass if we wanted to.
I would like to.
And quick fact check, 2.5 Men's been over for a while.
Oh, it has been?
Yeah.
I would have
2015.
canceled it. They should have canceled it though. Like if I could go back in time and snip that one right after they cut Charlie Sheen out and skip all that stuff with Ashton Kutcher. Because I love Ashton Kutcher, but it just...
Wasn't his...
It's not the same. It wasn't as good. They should have just let it go.
Yeah, the group dynamic wasn't the same. No, just not about that. Fuck.
You could probably snip New Girl. It's probably about at its run too.
I know. Last season just came out.
Oh, did it?
I'm pretty sure season finale was done. Or final season. So that one's pretty much cut out.
Finally, I know it's not a sitcom, but finally they're snipping Game of Thrones.
Are they really?
Right.
Yeah, it's finally done. Finished filming the last season.
I never gotten through the first
I watched
episode.
the first season.
I couldn't get through the first episode, dude.
Saying.
That's a tough much.
Yeah.
Alright guys, well I think that's enough sitcom talk for today, but thanks so much for listening, and definitely feel free to download our episodes and listen to them at your convenience at nerdsrus.com. Also, you can check out our Facebook on the same website, also link to our YouTube and Twitter, and our Patreon. Ike, tell them about the Patreon. Tell them what it's about.
Patreon. Throw us money, we do more cool shit.
We'll give you a shout out on our website and hopefully more in the future. It's just $2 a month. The cost of 2 spicy chickens. The cost of 1 shitty beer. That's all it takes.
PBR. Don't drink PBR, just donate.
Just fucking toss it. Send us our PBR. Send us your PBR. And we will
Not drink PBR.
not drink it. We will save you it by also not drinking it. It's just $2. Really appreciate it. But if not, we always appreciate you listening and checking us out. And in the meantime, stay classy, stay nerdy, and thanks for listening.